she's so cute for an Asian girl.
Yeah. Yep.
I spend time with like autistic goths.
Take away my rights, and I'll take away your head with my 22. I would too.
I'd immediately be bricked up.
But I would cave. This table's rising 5 inches after that. I mean, like, dude, if no, bro, listen. If she told me to bark, bro, I'm gonna bark like on my knees if she told me to.
No, you can't say that.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second episode of the NBR podcast. I, once again, am your host, Jared Brugli. We are joined with the same exact people that will always be here on the podcast, all of you guys as well. And we have a good docket lined up today of things to discuss. And I think we're just going to go ahead and get right into it. Fox Akimbo, take it away, my friend. You know what the deal is.
So I guess as of recording this podcast, recent news, the breaking news on the internet is that Wilbur Soot might be an abuser, a literal domestic abuser, which is a fascinating but also pretty disturbing, I guess, reality that a lot of people have woken up to over the past week or so. I have recently released my video on the topic, which is, if I'm not mistaken, the most viewed on YouTube right now. It's the most viewed video that I have ever had coming out the gate. 300,000. It's just crossed 300,000 views, literally as we speak.
That's awesome, bro. That's actually crazy.
Save yourself right there.
It's been. Oh,
yeah.
But essentially, if you guys, because I know a few of you guys don't know what this relates to really, other than kind of the basics. Essentially, on the 22nd of February, a woman by the name of Shelby came out. She's known on Twitch as Shubble. She came out to basically clear the air that a year or two ago, I would assume, sometime in the past, she was with a boyfriend that bit her. But it's not just kind of like a soft bite, like, you know, that some couples kind of do sometimes. It started off like that, should I say, as like a soft bite. And then as the kind of days and weeks and months went by, it started getting a bit harder, to the point where, like, at one point, he hurt her. And she said, like, you know, she didn't think there was a problem with it. It was just a one-time thing. But then that became more routine. To the point where every time they were together, he would bite her to the point of hurting her. Right? So they come up with a safe word together so that he knows when he's hurting her. Right? And then, according to her, afterwards, he then disregards the safe word. So he is biting to her. He's biting her to the point where she is physically in pain, and then clamping down when she is telling him that she's in pain.
Damn,
which
crazy,
is obviously it's not like she was saying in the video. You know, you would think when you think of, say, DV, it's usually hitting or something. So this is a different kind of form. She tried to ask him to stop. He said, "This is who I am." It's
That's
really
wild.
bad.
This is who I am.
Basically,
that's what she was saying. What can I do? Can't stop biting.
That's so
Can't help that I'm a
weird.
Taurus.
Yeah.
She was
Well,
also
sorry, I'm a
saying
Gemini.
that, he had initially bitten her on, like, kind of I assume, like, the upper body, like the arms or whatever. But then he changed to her legs because he didn't want it to seem as though she was people to see bruises and whatnot, because she was getting bruised. And you got to get bit pretty hard to get a bruise.
Yeah.
Right. This isn't just like like, you know, an actual bruise. I mean, it's, you know, bite yourself now, it's not going to bruise, only if you really clamp down on it. So she comes out with this video with basically, you know, kind of a slew of things that, how he treated her in the relationship generally. The big thing was the DV that happened, but she also did discuss other things within the relationship. Never within the original video, never within her live stream. It goes on for about 35 minutes. She does not name him, right? However, I guess, like, Twitter detectives start to piece together this puzzle. So things like, so she describes him as a biter. People seem to know that he bit cameras and stuff. That was maybe like a bit of a bit, you know, not to.
Yeah, you know, the old camera biting bit. Yeah, you know, the good old knee slapper.
Your video, didn't a lot of people say they were bitten by him, or say I seem to remember there was someone saying, "Oh, well, he would bite you. He would bite me. He'd bite anybody."
Yes. So there was a clip with
The weird
Mint
thing he was
and
known for.
some other woman. I don't really know who this other creator is, but the other girl in the video is saying, "I've been bitten by him before. He would bite you."
Yeah.
But at that point, it wasn't like people didn't know, so people, kind of brush it under the rug. His former, I think it's trumpet player for his band, came out and said that she had been bitten herself and also had witnessed other people. She had witnessed it before. But I don't really want to come out and say anything for absolute certainty because I don't want to be like,
we'll get you.
But why else would you be biting someone if not for some sexual reason?
Yeah, that's
Like,
so
It's
strange.
only women. It's
Thing. And
yeah.
I don't know
yeah.
because I spend time with like autistic goths, but from what I know, biting someone is generally a sexual thing.
Yeah.
Like
a control thing, kind of.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. So this is someone who has been revered within his community for years now.
Yeah.
People idolize this man. People are in my comments as we speak, writing messages of how they feel so betrayed and also upset that they've been supporting someone who they now believe to be a domestic abuser.
Well, his
which is,
audience usually gears pretty young, doesn't it?
Yeah.
well, he's a Minecraft creator, isn't he?
Yeah,
Before he was a musician,
yeah.
he was a Minecraft creator.
Yeah.
Because I know the Soot House audience was a bit older, but Minecraft,
that too. So this entire, the thing is for me as well is I'm also in a very similar boat to them. I love his music. And I thought his music, he is, I've mentioned before, like, that I live in the UK and stuff. I've seen him walk down the street. I've seen him before.
Oh, wow.
I have listened to his music. I've met someone who knows him and said very nice things about him, right? So I guess maybe compared to the average person or whatever, I might have the slightest bit more insight into who he is based on things that other people have told me. And, the person who I know who knows him only said good things about him. They said that he was a very good person, or at least from what they saw. So yeah, it's a real one of those things that people just didn't know or predict, and essentially people were able to track down what she was saying about. She was describing this person. He was a biter. He was unhygienic. I pieced together that she mentioned that he was very good with words because initially people didn't know who this was. People were inferring that it was him, and then other people were saying, don't do it unless she said, don't kind of say that it was him. And then his statement comes out, and then this all kind of blows to another level where now people kind of know.
I think I remember seeing that there was it was almost just whispers on the internet of it might be this guy, but then he dropped a statement on Twitter, and then that's when suddenly it felt like everybody was talking about it.
It was unconfirmed for a while, and then he himself was the guy who said, "Oh yeah, that was me."
A report in a sense.
It was. So she comes out on the 22nd to say this. On the 27th, he releases his statement, which has so far been panned by basically everyone because the main piece of criticism against this statement was that he confirms that he was in a relationship with her and he did bite her, but he says that he thought that it was consensual and he has the DMs to back this up. He also never references her by name, which is probably a legal move. I would assume so. And he also never, I think he apologizes once towards the end. I want to extend my sincerest apologies for any pain that I caused. So he's not even saying the specific things. He never does he actually specifically
Vague
say.
posting.
Yeah, no. Somebody told him to do that for sure.
Thoroughly combed through to be as least implicative.
It's like a politician's answer, almost.
I have kind of mulled this over, and the thing is that he was never. I mean, him coming out with a statement in the first place is probably a poor move for him. because basically once you come out with a statement, you either you admit to it and you say, yes, this was me, but then you're legally on the line for it, or B, you take the lawyer route, which he has done, and you become kind of public enemy number one. But the thing is, I think this was growing to an escalation where it was just going to come out sooner or later anyway. I think once the trumpeter came out and said it also happened to me, that was like, had to be a done deal.
Right, yeah.
So
I think we forget as well that the person's emotions play a huge part in it. Like, if something like this were to happen to one of us, even then, like, it's kind of hard to not view YouTubers in this light of like a mega celebrity who has a PR brain, when most of the time it's just a guy who
just a regular dude. So
Literally.
you know, like, I know if I were to be in a situation like that, which I never would be, but hypothetically, I would feel horrible. I would want to say something and try and clear things up. I'd be able to stew with the feeling of all these people, you know, feeling a certain way, or an ex-girlfriend doing whatever. And I feel like that's often very much forgotten in this discourse, is the very human and personal element of YouTubers, because they are, as we all know now, we've learned this over the past few years, they're just regular old people.
Yeah,
very well said.
And I have something to kind of talk about that. So, in his statement, his big defense is that he thought that it was consensual. He says, throughout the relationship, I understood from our numerous conversations and text messages, text exchanges on the subject, that this behavior was consensual, playful, and reciprocally enjoyed. Right. So he claims that there are text messages out there between the two of them that represent that she is completely okay with what's going on. However, the problem that I have with this, the big problem I have with this, is that now from his standpoint, if he truly believes that this was consensual, right, from his viewpoint, she is trying to get him completely cancelled and taken off the face of the she wants people to believe that he is a criminal, right? So from his perspective, she wants people to believe that he is a dangerous, she says she thinks he's genuinely dangerous criminal, right? You release those DMs right then and there.
You
surely,
at that point the log's gotta come out. So no receipts at all from either side?
Out of respect to her, he said he would not release them. However, it's like, okay, so now it's like, do you not want to release them because you don't have them? Or do you not? Because maybe it could be a legal issue. I'm not 100% sure, but
maybe
for him,
privacy issue for sure. But that's kind of out of the bag.
For him,
the cat's
you release it. You can clear this all up. You know, or at least try to. You can probably swing the narrative if you release it. And, you know, there's probably a reason why he hasn't. It's probably because they don't actually exist.
If you feel like if your like career is on the line and all you need to do is release a single scrgot that verifies something, why would you not do it?
Exactly. That doesn't make any sense.
This is like, and as Kyle said, what was it called? Like the privacy is almost like it's out of the bag. Like it's no question at this point. Things are being stated. People are coming out. Like,
especially because she's so openly, comfortably talking about the subject. Like, you know, also in the sense of what you said of her trying to sabotage his career and take him down, the fact that she doesn't mention him by name kind of doesn't lead credence to that theory. You know,
right.
And she would say Wilbur Soot did this to me, and not let people, you know, figure it out on their own and come to that conclusion. Because her apology is very sincere, and you can tell that there's a lot of pain there. Unless she's a really, really good actor and incredibly malicious, then it really doesn't seem like a hit piece to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got two things to say on that. It's that, first of all, as well, is that consent can also be taken away as well. Just because you say,
Absolutely.
oh yeah, sure, over text, it's not like he bites down safe word and then it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like of course, you know, it can be taken away anyway. So the DMs would do nothing anyway.
Do you guys remember the whole Pro Jared debacle a couple of years ago? Were you around for that?
Yeah,
I remember.
No, I don't really know that.
So he was accused of a lot, and he actually did release DMs and clear his name, and people apologized, and because he was accused of cheating on his wife, but he provided these DMs that said, "Hey, we were opening the relationship, it was consensual," and here she is saying it, and it worked. So
Right.
I think if he had
Yeah.
those DMs,
You would just release
he
them,
could
surely.
fix it.
Yeah.
He could fix it.
Yeah,
But-
you know, I also want to mention that
That it's a different sort of thing because consent can be revoked. Consent is something that is so crucial to be always monitored, always respected, especially in a
It
situation.
resets every time. Every time you're
literally.
doing the act.
Yeah.
it's a
There's no
different
like
situation.
one all end all be all thing,
If it's not expressly given to you, you should be clear and ask, because
It'll at
otherwise,
least be heavily implied.
exactly,
Yeah.
you gotta have a green light. If your light is sort of gray, then I would say
Yeah, if you have a gray light, no.
If it feels-
No.
If it feels a little yellow, just stop.
Yeah.
Just
Don't speed up, just stop. Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
just those little yellow ask. If you get your answer, then you get your answer.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a real kind of tough situation, especially because so many children are his fans and so many children are coming to his defense. Don't necessarily understand what it's like to be in a relationship, who don't necessarily understand what it's like to be given consent and to respect consent. A lot of the response is very much like, I saw one tweet from a fan account of his and it made me laugh so hard because of how brain dead it was. I can't tell if it was bait or not. It feels like it was, but also the account was like a fan account that had been posting for a while. So it was like,
Just Reddit, you never know.
Yeah. You can't
I don't know
tell.
if you guys saw that. Like, it was part of a thread, and it was like, biting, sure, it may be bad, but there are.
No, I've seen that.
Oh, wait.
Oh, dude.
We gotta put that. We gotta put that.
Yeah.
Tweet up.
We'll throw the tweet up in post. Yeah.
That is.
I want to
that
give
is-
it the benefit of the doubt and say it
That's
might have been
worse.
a younger kid,
It has to be, bro.
Maybe.
Has to be.
like 13.
By the way,
you know.
the Holocaust. is
There's
worse,
no way it's not. There's
so-
literally no way it's not. Like,
Yeah,
It would just
I
have to be a kid who's imagining, just, like a little.
that's
Oh,
wild to
like,
say.
something.
Like, wow.
be the worst
Yeah.
thing you think of. But it's kid logic. If you use like kid logic, then it makes sense. But it's kind of indicative of the majority
Kid
of his
logic.
defense is really not empathetic towards her, and is very much like kind of low level reaction based. And it really just kind of seems like at this point, with him outright, he basically did everything but admit it at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's rare too, because for many of these cancellations, a lot of it is speculation. But for this one, it's not really. So it's just kind of rough. And as someone who never had any investment within the Dream SMP or within his music or anything, I never watched these guys. My friends did. I just thought they were mildly annoying, but that was it. It kind of makes clear that
Dream is
there's
mildly
some.
annoying.
I don't want to say problematic because that's an annoying word, but within the Dream sort of bubble, there's some people with concerning habits.
Rather
And
than problematic, I would say something feels off.
yeah,
Just
Yeah. Queasy,
Yeah.
uneasy, you could say.
just a little bit of a feeling something's a little,
Something is
It's
rotten
fussy.
in the state of Dream. Yeah.
The amount of comments I had just saying Minecraft YouTubers or like, basically just put it all on Minecraft.
And that's not a good thing that it's that commonplace to say that.
No.
But, yeah.
And I don't know. I think for me personally, because there have been some creators that have come out and completely tried to shut her down. For me, if you're trying to make a some sort of big cancellation movement and you're lying about it, you don't go live on stream for 35
Yeah.
minutes to do it.
It's career
You release a
suicide.
statement
That's
or
suicide.
something
Yeah.
prior, because it's like you're then you have to lie for 35 minutes straight. I think we should probably move on anyway, because this is a very heavy topic for our
let's get a little.
second
Who here
episode.
heard about the Willy Wonka experience?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I've heard about the fucking Willy Wonka experience.
That's
let
what
me
it-
speak from the audience. So all I know is I saw a photo. This is what we were supposed to get. It turned
Yes.
out to be AI.
That's all I
This is
saw.
the garbage. we
That is
got.
all I
That's
saw.
All I know.
I don't know
Oh,
anything
you
else
guys
about it.
don't- I'm so deep into this lore, it's unreal.
My head is in the sand with all internet shit, bro. I don't.
So hysterical. Like that Willy Wonka experience, as people have made this point online, has brought the wider world so much more joy than the $1 million like Wonka movie that they made recently. Like the
I love that
intro
movie.
to Willy Wonka is at an all-time high right now, and it's just it's so fascinating and it's so funny.
So
I
there's-
think Fox and I are both I'm a big fan of the original like book and the original film. Huge part of my childhood.
I'm a mega fan. I'm a mega fan of the Gene Wilder version. I love Gene Wilder's Willy Wonka, one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, I watched it 1,000 times when I was a kid.
Yeah, me too. Oh my god, like every song is so nostalgic. You know, so it's brought back that level of like whimsy and joy that you get from being a kid and like reading Willy Wonka.
Unintentionally.
Unintentionally, completely, yeah. So you guys have only seen like a couple pictures, basically?
Not even a couple.
Yeah,
I've seen
definitely
one.
when we edit, we should put that picture up on screen.
Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
So there's one point that I need to bring up because I remember reading it on Twitter the other day.
Yeah.
So basically, have you guys seen? Okay, so I feel so bad for this actress because I've seen like other photos of her. She's one of the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah.
I feel terrible for her.
Yeah.
I don't know her name, but I feel terrible because there's so many other photos of her like working with the kids, like trying to make it like a good experience and shit.
Yeah.
But the photo that initially was released was so bad.
I know.
What I learned is basically they had snacks that they were giving out to the kids, like the candy for the experience, right? So they had these plastic cups and they gave basically like a quarter's amount of Tesco lemonade. And I'm not sure if you know anything about the Tesco lemonade, but at most it's like you can get a 2-liter bottle of Tesco sparkling lemonade for 60 pence, which is about $1. It's $1, and they're giving a quarter cup of it to these kids, and they had to ration the jelly beans to
one jelly
beans.
It
was like one or two. It was one or two. Like to these kids, a quarter cup
point.
Of,
it is
a quarter cup of $1 lemonade to these kids.
Also, by the way, it cost $40 to get into.
Oh yeah, it was 35 pounds. Oh my god. And it was just a mess.
Do you guys know? I mean, I can go through like a quick run through of this.
Give us a rundown for me and Kyle and the viewers because I don't know.
Go for it.
Essentially, there was this production, I guess, like events management company called, I think it's called like Illuminati Events or something like that.
What?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What?
And essentially, they put
Not a
a
good
bunch of
name to start.
advertising in and around, I believe it's Glasgow, saying there's going to be this
Yeah.
Willy Wonka event. However, all of the advertising was AI generated, right? So all of the pictures were clearly AI generated pictures.
It's so obvious.
Very obvious. But even a lot of the text on it was AI generated. And it's perfect that it's Willy Wonka because the AI text just made up words. It's like, you'll have a fantabulous time having slogger-gating these tools or whatever. And it's like...
Yeah.
That was the main one that they had on that poster.
Yeah, it's scagalacious.
Yeah.
It's like complete gibberish, but of course,
Just making shit up.
it's Willy Wonka, so of course it kind of works.
It definitely worked.
So essentially, for some reason, I'm talking dozens of families see Scagalacious, they see Fantabulous, they see Zora Gilius, and they go, oh, you know what? Let's spend £35 each on that.
That's worth 35 quid, baby.
They
That is
go
pretty Wonka-esque.
Yeah, and essentially they go to this essentially warehouse, and it's like something out of It's Always Sunny, where they have a picture of the chocolate factory on the wall, but we're talking it's a warehouse wall, and it's like, I don't know, an A3, or like it's like it's I don't know, maybe the size of like that. It's like it's doesn't even cover.
It's pirate flag on my wall. It's small. It's like if you took
Like
Dusty
a screenshot
of like
and post on the wall of where you're actually supposed to be.
They just screenshotted it and just stuck, a little bit of sellotape or whatever. They cast members to do it, but clearly, the pretty infamous picture of the Oompa Loompa went viral. 2 jelly beans and a quarter cup of lemonade. And my favorite part of all was that the AI generated a script for the characters to write.
Yes.
And the AI generated its own lore to Willy Wonka. So essentially, the AI script mentioned of this character called the Unknown, and they call this character the Unknown because its name is unknown. And the unknown is an evil chocolate maker who lives in the walls of the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, right? Wait,
Yeah.
Can we put up a picture of the unknown real quick? Let's get a picture of the unknown.
Yeah.
No, it's terrifying.
Somebody get
There's a picture to go with it, like an AI generated picture.
No.
Oh, it's an actor.
Unknown.
It's an actor.
Yeah.
Oh.
So essentially, they saw this script. The owners, whoever threw this, saw the script and was like, "I guess we have to cast an unknown now."
That's
So
terrifying.
they created what they thought the unknown was, which is a evil chocolate maker who lives in the factories of the wall. And
That's scary.
That is scary, bro.
Here's another one. Here's another one.
there is a video.
That
Wait,
is-
there's an amazing video that goes with it.
Oh, is it the
Wait.
one of? Oh, wait, I'm actually
Where
not
the
gonna say.
kids
I'm not
start
gonna say it.
crying.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids are crying.
I would cry.
Hysterical.
Literally, they're like.
Yeah, and it's always like, are they crying because it's shite, or are they crying because
They're scared, bro. They don't care how good it is. They're terrified.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so scared, and I got ripped off at the same time.
Yeah.
Wait, here it is. Wait,
Mr.
Drop it
Wonka
in
has
chat.
looked
Drop
out
it in chat.
this is the video.
pages, and they had to memorize this 14-page ChatGPT script like 3 days before the show started, and so it was just like a complete mess, and much of it was like you could barely understand what was happening because not a very good AI script.
Video's crazy.
Just hysterical. Everyone had to learn these lines, so many lines, within such a short period of time. And it was just poorly cast as well. Like the Wonka guy himself, like
No, you can't say that.
no, he said it himself. He said, I don't know
No, you are right.
he said, I look more like an Oompa Loompa. I look more like he's like, I don't know who would look at me and say Wonka. I'm quoting him directly.
No, you're right.
Hysterical.
Have you
It's
guys
hysterical.
ever tried to use ChatGPT to write a script before, just messing around? Like, hey, write me a script.
I've
for
never
blank.
tried.
It's terrible. It's
Yeah, I believe it.
terrible.
I believe
I
it.
would never trust it to do anything of value.
Yeah.
So I guess in the aftermath of this, right? In the aftermath, the actors still have not been paid. The police
No.
were called to the premises because the parents, everyone started calling the police. So the police came round. The actors were not fed. They weren't given a lunch break or anything. And I believe it was the Oompa Loompa lady came out and she said, essentially in an interview, she said it was like putting sprinkles on a shit. Basically, she said it was her job. She was like, the actors looked around. They were like, okay, clearly this is like awful. But to be very fair to them, they were like, we have a job here to try and make it as good as possible. And so in her words, it was like putting sprinkles on a shit. It was like,
I will literally give them credit because like I've seen I haven't seen any videos of like the Oompa Loompa lady, but I've seen like photos of her like interacting with the children and stuff, and it seems like they're clearly aware of what is going on, but like they're definitely not half-assing it. Like they're trying to
No,
like
they're not. Dude,
give
they
it
put-
their best shot, and I love that.
They
And I
just don't
love
have
that.
a lot to work with.
So
Yeah.
the Oompa Loompa lady came out. Basically, all of the actors came out and like on TikTok to say their stories or whatever. The Oompa Loompa lady and the Wonka actor have been on Good Morning Britain to share their story. The Wonka actor said he wanted to meet Timothy Chalamet and get like a Wonka extended universe going on. He's very upfront that he wants to milk his 5 minutes of fame.
Yeah.
And just today, a few hours ago, the Unknowns actress broke
Oh,
her
yeah.
silence and has come out. She's come out. It's a 16-year-old girl.
Oh my gosh.
And I believe
were they
that-
That's crazy.
dude?
That is crazy.
Actually, I have a very interesting topic of conversation. I spoke to my friend about this. I have a friend who's very anti-AI, so he's like very he had the opposite opinion to me, right? So these people have spent £35. I do hope they get their money back. I don't know if they will. I think legally, like they threw something. I don't think they will.
I think they
But-
have to give it back.
Yeah.
But do you think that they got their money's worth? Because in my opinion,
Yes.
The meme.
Yes, they did for the
would
meme.
just for the meme.
I think they actually.
Yeah.
I think they did too.
Had a bargain.
They got more than they paid for, in my opinion.
They they have
Yeah.
gotten a story out of it that will last a lifetime.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. There's like a select few people that are involved, you know? Yeah, they saw it.
That's the thing. Is
Live.
like you just know that there's going to be a bunch of companies now that try and bank off the unknown because the unknown's the hottest character in the world right now. It's even got a villains wiki, the unknown.
Oh my god,
Dude, that was quick.
New video for me, Loki.
Other people that are going to try and scam people, try and like I don't know, redo this lightning in a bottle. But I think to be there, you paid £35 and you became part of like just not just British culture, but like world culture now. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
the Netflix docuseries
You're
is
going to
going
be
to come
showing
out
up
in a
on Know
year.
Your Meme
Yeah, and you're gonna get an interview. Yeah.
Inside Wonka's factory, like the Fire Festival documentary, basically 2.0.
Literally, yeah.
I'm
The
thinking of that
tragic
Tumblr
tale.
convention. I was
Yeah.
thinking of that Tumblr convention where they had the ball pit.
Oh my god.
What was that
Yeah.
called? What was that?
Dash on.
Dash
I
on?
forget.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Wonka sour candy.
Yeah.
So funny.
I'd be curious. I'd be curious to see, like truthfully, when I was kind of learning everything about it, I really was kind of hoping that there would be some type of person that does like some investigative journalism into it and figures out like who are the people behind this, because the actors are the ones getting thrown into the forefront. But what about the people that like developed? I use that very lightly.
So I saw a video.
organized.
I saw a video about it. So some of the parents came up. I guess found the guys in like what seemed to be a trailer or like a kind of a room. They had hired security to be on the door because they knew. And the security guard was like, "Please don't record me. I'm not a part of this. I'm just paid to make sure like to stand here." He was like, "I know you guys have been ripped off, but I can't do anything about it." And the guys seemed like they were just chatting with arguing with the parents, kind of going, "Oh, you ripped us off or whatever." And they're like, "Yeah, get the stuff basically."
Yeah.
You paid for
So I believe they've also been doxxed. I want to say they've been doxxed.
No way.
I don't know if it's a rumor. I
so-
don't know if it's a rumor.
I
but,
believe it.
I would too.
believe
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
Just because of the spotlight right now, I would believe it, but it doesn't make it any better.
No.
But
no.
Oh, yeah.
the thing is, this almost seems to me like an old school kind of meme, like a 2018,
Yes.
2017
It really does
kind
have
of,
that
like,
vibe. Yeah.
world event.
is.
It doesn't seem like recent kind of. It's something that I think the world needs. To be honest.
Kind of
Yeah,
a charming
yeah.
sort of meme.
I think it's uniting everybody and like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened here?
Yeah. What is actually going on, bro?
Yeah, we need more scams. Like, that's something we
Just
need
get
more of in
scammed by more
country.
companies, guys. It makes us so happy.
Exactly.
Bring scams back, bro. Yeah.
We
That's
need
exactly
some
what I'm
AI
talking about.
scams. We need more scams in this world.
But yeah, that's that whole thing. I remember like the first time I learned about it, because I don't know like why this was the case, but it seemed like information was steadily released about this event over the course of days. It wasn't
I
just
know.
Like,
Yeah.
here's a fuck ton of information. It was just like blah.
It was
blah,
ongoing,
blah,
bro.
Unknown.
It was almost like a
oompa loompa.
secret. It was a
Yeah.
secret
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
gradually leaking.
It's one of those things where the actors one by one have like broken their silence just to discuss what was
Yes.
going on. People have been like leaking the photos to the press. Like they probably
It's a
are
whole
right now. They're like,
scandal.
oh,
It's a
it's
scandal.
probably like because if you have something that's not been seen, the press would probably want to pay for it. So
Yeah.
let me just auction
Yeah.
off like
Yeah.
my pictures with the Oompa Loompa.
Well, dude, YouTubers would pay for it.
Oh yeah.
Guaranteed.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%
Dude,
they
if
would.
I
Yeah.
was
Guaranteed.
there,
You
if
could
I
probably
was
make money
there,
back.
man, I would have. Oh my gosh, that would have been the best 35 quid in the world. Like,
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah. I'd be talking about it for years.
oh yeah, to my
The thing is,
deathbed, I'd be talking
would
about
have
it.
made like a documentary-ish thing. Like whilst I was there, I would have gotten as much footage as I could.
Yeah.
Cause,
Oh, yeah.
I think also a lot of
Yeah.
parents were probably a bit embarrassed, and so now that's kind of turned into like, actually, this could be funny. So they're just slowly releasing it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. I ordered shortly after this. No, it was actually like 2 nights ago. When we were doing our bounty hunter thing, I found this jacket from the company that makes many of my other jackets, and it was very, very Willy Wonka-esque. And so I thought, fuck it, and I bought this gothic top hat. And I think I'm just gonna go all in for it. Tomorrow, I might go with a friend to Gothred and look for a staff or a cane of sorts.
yeah.
That'd be great.
Right.
If any
'Cause
of you out there want to know where Ray's AdSense goes,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
are funding this lifestyle.
you are making this
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I've told people that. It's like, wow, how do you have the money for all that cool stuff? And it's like, you, my friend. for watching.
You little buddy.
Yeah, thanks, little dude. I appreciate it.
To hit like and subscribe. You know that.
Thank you to the sponsor for this top hat.
Exactly.
Make sure you click all of the ads on this video so I can afford cool jackets.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, YouTube does have that product linking thing now,
Yeah.
where
True.
you can tag like a product and get something for it.
Yeah. It's like
I haven't done it, but you know,
Ray, I feel like you could, if you reached out to like fashion companies, you could totally get a sponsor from somebody.
Oh, yeah.
easily.
100%.
No wrong.
I have to look for it and everything.
Yeah, I would do it. Yeah, I mean, I have the following for it.
Reaching out to vampirefreaks.com. They might honestly
Be an ambassador, bro. You can be a brand ambassador.
Yeah,
Okay.
dude.
Get like free shit in the mail every week.
I already
All the
give them
time.
free advertising. Everyone's like, "Wow, I love your jacket." And I'm like, "Thanks." They're like, "Where'd you get it?" I'm like, "punkrave.com." And they're like, "Wow, I'll go check that out." That's
You can
actually
write it all off too.
Yeah,
Promo
yeah,
code.
yeah.
Promo code Ray.
that's you know what?
So if it's for your look, that you
Exactly.
present yourself with,
Yeah.
you can write it off.
I wrote
Like
all
all
those
suits and
off.
stuff.
Those little knickknacks. I wrote that lamp off. I wrote that
I've
off.
got a question, right, to Jared. Have you purposely put up the Olivia Rodrigo
Yes, I
vinyl?
have. Yes.
Just in case she sees this episode of the
Yes,
podcast?
I was actually hoping, just in case she sees this episode, by some chance or miracle.
I want to talk about that.
I want it to be known, Olivia.
Ruby's social media links in the description. Olivia,
Yeah, hit me up. I have 1 million subs on YouTube. I'm clouded enough to talk
you
to
know
you
you
now.
want to
I'm
want
matching.
to.
I'm matching you. No, but like,
cross-contaminate those fan bases.
I don't.
Yeah,
that would be, dude. I mean, that would go to the trash can if that was the case. I don't know about that, bro. Loki, Olivia Sims with Brugly fans. I don't know about that, bro.
Ooh.
That'd be tough.
That'll work. It'll
Yeah,
work.
yeah. You know, it will
They
work.
might
It
all
will
fall
work.
in love
Yeah,
with each other.
Jared,
I'm a Brew Livia Knight.
yeah, yeah.
I'll be right back. Just a second.
The Olive Oogly night, yeah, for sure. But I brought it on here because that's one of my hot takes that I had. That I was just messing around with. This album, Sour, is the best album of the last 10 years. Hot take.
real.
Last 10 years?
No!
10 years?
10 years? I mean, no.
Definitely the last 5. Definitely the last 5 years. This album has lyrically and musically changed teenage music. It has. You can't even say it hasn't.
Are you a teenager?
Give her one of these.
No,
Send
I'm
her one of
21.
these.
Send her one.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'll send her one in the mail, bro. I have 10 downstairs. I can send her one for sure.
Fantastic. Oh,
Yeah,
No
actually-
explanation. Just
To be
Send
fair, I do think that music has been kind of dead since the pandemic. I can't even name a single album that I've been like, you know what, this kind of slaps. Like mainstream music, should I say? I honestly, I couldn't tell you what the best. I could not tell you what the best mainstream album has been.
Well, yeah,
'cause
I
I
don't
think it
listen
will
to
sound
music
like-
really. Fox knows my music
don't
taste.
listen
It's
to
country,
mainstream
so I listen to country music and Olivia Rodrigo. Those are my only two musics I listen to. I don't listen to rap
I listen to
or
rap
anything
a
else.
lot. I that's kind of people don't expect that, but I listen to rap a lot and
Favorite artist, Kyle.
kind of controversial, but I think Puya is really good. I don't know if you know who he is.
Not heard of him before.
Yeah, actually, that does ring a bell. Hold on.
He's a Miami rapper. He's really good. He has a lot of controversial lyrics, which is why I'm not sure if I should even say that. But he just let's just say melody wise,
Like
he's really good.
slide squeegee.
Light
Half
squeegee,
censored?
baby.
Yeah.
Look up these aforementioned
He is
lyrics.
very not PC, I will say, but you know he is like a hardcore rapper, so.
right.
You listen to hardcore rap.
That actually brings up an interesting question I'd like to ask you guys. Where does the line fall of separating the art from the artist? And are you willing to listen to music of someone who's a bad person?
I will say yes,
Ooh.
I am.
Yeah.
I can somehow completely separate the two in my mind.
Okay. I
'Cause-
remember talking about this with my friend back
Yeah,
in
I can
2019
too.
regarding Michael Jackson of all people. Like, is it a sin to listen to Michael and enjoy it?
That's usually when it comes up.
Yeah.
It's,
and
it's
Jay
usually
brings
the
it
old
up.
Michael Jackson conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the age old
Later
Michael
at the
Jackson
party.
conversation. Yeah.
he's saying horrible things, but his old music hits really hard.
Yeah.
Is it like, as long as you're not like, assuming you can pirate his music, is there any?
I have a lot of examples of that because I don't know if you guys are into manga too much, but the guy who made what was it? Some samurai manga. He got arrested for having a lot of CP.
Ooh,
And
Okay.
he was in
That's
jail
not-
for a
not
while,
good.
and he came back and he started continuing the series. And people,
Wait, he got let out? They let people out for that?
Yeah, why'd they let him
I don't
out?
even know if he got
What?
jail time, really. I think he might have got probation for a long time or something like that.
Like,
Brother, what?
You naughty!
What the fuck? A slap on the wrist?
Look it up. Dude, I gotta
That's
look it up.
wild to me, bro.
Yeah,
Was
don't
it-
slander him.
Yeah, I don't want to like slander this guy.
I think was the manga.
Right. Something I'll say is like an argument that I hear for like separating the art from the artist is the art they're creating disconnected from the things that
Yeah.
they're doing and the views that they're holding? Like
That
I've heard a lot of controversy, specifically I think Fantano, the Needle Drop, caught a lot of flack on this for his dislike of Kanye's new album. And a lot of people are like, why don't you like it? Separate the art from the artist. But supposedly, after watching Anthony's video, it seems like a lot of Kanye's lyrics kind of poke fun almost at his ideology and his belief system. So Fantano's argument is kind of like, how can I separate the art from the artist when it's literally in the art itself?
It makes sense.
So
Yeah.
it's like maybe
those
older
artists who
Kanye
shout
gets a
their name
pass.
at the beginning of every song.
Right.
Yeah.
DJ
Okay, so
Khaled.
I know
I have an
that
update for that manga artist, so I'm just going to read it directly from Google.
Oh, let's hear it.
Nobuhiro Watsuki never went to jail despite being caught in possession of material and confessing to the crime when questioned by police. After paying a negligible fine, Watsuki was suspended for half a year before he was back at work.
You guys want to make the bounty hunter thing?
Dude.
Yeah. So he paid a
What?
small
I think
fine.
like street justice would happen here if that was the case. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like something would like that's crazy to me, dude. That is
Yeah,
crazy.
he was off work for like half a year, and then everything was back to normal.
That's not even a slap on the wrist. That's just like a
No,
that's just like a
That's-
no.
and he was already rich. He has one of the most successful series of all time. So a half a year off to him is just
And a negligible fine for a rich guy.
yeah.
That's
That's it.
That's insanity. That is absolutely insane.
I don't know.
yeah. I would boycott that guy because that's a level of like evil.
Yeah, that's just like
Yeah.
fucking nasty
Cynical.
shit. Like,
You know, like
Yeah.
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 What the
And then the fact that he's still producing it, like with Jackson at least, he's dead, right?
Yeah.
Allegedly.
So you're not.
I mean, they release an unreleased track every once in a while.
His are also allegations as well, where it's not confirmed.
Oh, has it never been definitively?
No, it was.
Well, the thing is, it's been so
um,
long, it's impossible to prove.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
Oh, okay.
It
'Cause it
was.
just
Well,
won't-
I
you know,
believe
there's a lot of
settled out of
testimonies, but
courts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
It's
yeah,
been
it was
so
settled out
long.
of courts.
Yeah.
In the
Oh,
end, it went to
okay.
trial, but it was settled out of court. So you just never know. And the thing is, as well, is something I'd like to bring up is that I have mentioned in the past I have been a big fan of Lovejoy. Kind of bring it back to that. This is maybe the
That's
first
the
time
Wilbur
where I've
Soot
been like,
band?
yeah, Wilbur Soot, yeah, his band.
Okay.
And this is maybe the first time where I'm like, I've taken all of his songs off my playlist for now. I don't know if I'll ever have them back. Whereas something like a Michael Jackson, it's like I grew up listening to his music. So it's one of those things where there's never like a definitive moment where I could go, now is the time to take it. It'd just be a bit weird. So I'll still listen to his music anyway. And there's a lot of like people that have done pretty awful things. You know, most humans, especially if you give them that much power, probably not good people.
Well, that and a lot of artists have some sort of mental illness. So it's proven that a lot of artists out there have something going on. So it's almost guaranteed that they're going to have something sketchy in their past. Maybe definitely not to that degree, but something controversial to some degree.
Yeah, I definitely agree. You have to separate the art from the artist in most instances, unless it is like one of my favorite movies of all time is Midnight in Paris by Woody Allen. So it's like it's one of those things. But however, that's obviously like his entire thing with his like kind of adopted daughter wife is not in that movie at all. It's just Owen Wilson going into like kind of 1920s France. It's an amazing.
And if no one
it's
told
amazing
you, you'd
cinematic.
never know.
No,
Like, it's so
no.
disconnected that you would never know, if not for the internet, honestly.
I think I don't know. Awful people do great things sometimes. Artistically,
And you got to think a lot more people worked on that than just him.
This is also it, is that when you want to boycott something, do you want to boycott it? Say, for example, the the Harry Potter game and stuff. People are like, oh, we'll boycott it and stuff. But what about the devs that worked on it? What about the people that really did put their time and effort into it and stuff? That it's not just.
And I guarantee you, a lot of people who worked on that are pretty pro-trans.
Yeah,
true.
I believe there was a trans character.
Where do you draw the line, really?
I mean, with game development and any sort of coding, there's probably going to be a higher percentage of at least non-gender conforming people.
Right. And a lot of tech spaces generally have a lot of like a lot of their policies do pertain to inclusivity and stuff. Like I know that's kind of like a big thing with like major tech corps. I don't know how it would work with maybe. I don't know
especially
who did
Silicon Valley, places like that. It's very it's open.
I feel like one of the is when you're financially benefiting a bad person is when it comes to a morality line, or at least when you can start to sort of feel some semblance of guilt for consuming a product. Does that make sense?
Well, if you feel bad for consuming it, then just don't do it. I think I'm just not a person of conviction, I don't think. And I personally don't think if I buy Hogwarts Legacy, for example, J.K. Rowling is already a multi-billionaire. There is going to be nothing that could be done.
Withholding $30 is not going to do anything for her bank account.
I'm just not a man of conviction, and I don't want to be. Because then, if I do it for like one or two, then I have to do it for everyone. Because then I'm like, oh wait, what about this? Well, this person did this.
Then it's literally like finding the line.
When you go into products, you can find that all products are pretty much come back to the same 2 or 3 companies.
Yeah,
and those companies are up to something. So you end up in the place where you can't buy any product at all because they've all got something going on. And
That's very true.
What do you think?
You just have to be willfully ignorant at some point to put up with it.
I'm looking at you, General Mills cereal.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking at you. But yeah.
Looking at you.
BlackRock.
Yeah, Black Vanguard.
BlackRock Vanguard. I'm gonna get killed now, but
I am of sound mind, body, spirit.
I am not suicidal. I do not want to kill myself. If I am found dead,
bleep that.
BlackRock is evil in Minecraft.
I am not going to be near any tall windows.
Neither am I.
So,
I will not be driving, and I'm not crashing.
Similar to another topic, but it's like when it comes to the argument of is someone racist or not, it comes down to, are they actually hateful of that group, or are they just saying something that's kind of ignorant? You know? And I think when it comes to racism, you kind of have to hate the group. Otherwise, you're just kind of being stupid.
Yeah.
Well, are you racist, or did you say something racist?
Yeah, exactly.
I think someone can say something
from a place
racist.
Of hate.
Yeah, like someone can say something, like there's people that might unintentionally say something that's racist, or maybe they like intentionally say it as like a joke, but I don't think that puts them in the same place as somebody that's like, I don't know,
there's
like
always dark humor, you know.
Yeah, and there's a line, obviously.
Come from any angle, you know.
If you're making the same joke about the same group of people, it's coming from somewhere.
Yeah.
Like
that's also a point. Yeah,
sure.
Like repeat offenses for sure, you know.
Yeah.
Because it's under the veil of edgy comedy. Yeah. Whereas I don't really see it that way. I'm sure. Listen, I'm not against edgy humor by all means, but there are some people who are described as just edgelords who it's like, no, they're just racist.
No, he's just racist and sexist. Yep.
Yeah. There is a line for sure. There's a line for sure.
But I know, like, what Kyle's talking about, like, a lot of old people from where I'm from fall into that trap. Like, these people are not racist people, but sometimes they might say something that makes you like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? You know? And it's
what do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that now?
Yeah.
I'm a white guy from the Midwest in an interracial relationship.
Yeah.
Get it a lot.
Yeah.
To where
oh gosh.
You can tell they're trying to be nice, but they say something that's just like you didn't have to say that part.
Yeah.
Most like I guess funny things that you've heard regarding that topic.
So one of the most insulting ever is she's so cute for an Asian girl.
Yeah.
Like cut off the second half of that sentence.
Literally. Why even?
That's always
attach
my rule.
that?
Is when you're trying to compliment someone, cut off the second half of the sentence.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
Like,
you never have a condition.
Yeah. No buts. No for. Yeah.
No
for
conditionals. Just
exactly.
keep it to the compliment.
I think sometimes you go the opposite way. It's like she, like all Asian girls, is very cute. It's like, oh, okay,
it can go either way.
What do you mean by that?
Definitely goes.
What do you mean by that?
They all are, every single one. In the way, it's like, okay, just treat them like people. Come on.
That crosses a lot into like fetishization, and that's also just disgusting as well.
That's another whole topic, though. Like, is it
that's another
preference
thing.
or fetish? And then you get into a whole nother thing.
But yeah, when it comes to that argument, it's like there are certain people that I know who live like, in more southern areas. My whole family lives in Florida. So the older members are, I can say 100% are racist, but they're not actively hateful. There's
I know what you mean, because I live in Kentucky, so I know exactly what you mean. You're from we know, like
you know exactly what we're talking about.
We got Kentucky, we got Missouri, we got Texas.
Yeah, I think we got the whole fucking South, damn near. So I think we're good here. We have representation.
Exactly. I wonder what it's like in the UK actually, because I have no idea of what interracial politics are outside.
I know it's tough right now. Let's see.
I mean, this is a bit of a deep topic, I guess. I'm not really one to talk about. I actually, it's probably not what I want to talk about on the podcast, to be fair. But it is, I don't know, UK, we don't really make too big of a deal about race, I wouldn't think. However, I also think that our races are a little bit more like segregated, if there's a better word to use. At least in my experience.
Seems like you've got the whole diaspora thing going on, where like this group lives here, this group lives here.
In Brighton,
a lot of classism, so
yeah, class is probably more of a thing. In the UK, it's less probably about race and more about like which class you are or how you're perceived. In terms of all of that, obviously, there's a few bits and bobs going on right now, but generally the race relations in the UK, I don't know, it's kind of like the same as everywhere and stuff. That there will be some, I guess we got different like racial groups, I guess, to the US and stuff, because you guys have like a lot of like Latin Americans and stuff. We have none of those. We have a lot of like British kind of Indians and stuff, and you have less Asian Indians and stuff. American.
Weren't you saying
Indians,
like you don't have Thai food and Mexican food hardly at all?
Right.
Like,
not authentic. Yeah, we don't really have authentic, but we do have a lot of Indian food. We have a lot of kind of like South Asian kind of. When I say South, I mean like Bangladesh, kind of Pakistan and India kind of things. We have a lot of like Nigerian stuff, a lot of Nigerian Brits, and also a lot of Caribbean kind of like Windrush generation came over. When I think in the UK, generally things are less about race. From what I've noticed, is things are generally less about race over here and more about like, I guess probably class is what I would think to be the biggest divider. But I mean, it's just the same as everywhere else, really. Like there's always going to be talks about like kind of race and I don't know how, because a lot of like Europe especially and stuff, a lot of people look at like different groups and stuff and they see that they haven't really like assimilated really to like culture and stuff, which is a lot bigger, I would say, in kind of like Europe and stuff than it is in the States.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know, it's just a different kind of bag of potatoes than the States and stuff, I guess, generally.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Different bag of potatoes.
Here's what I'll say, ladies and gentlemen. Be totally excellent to each other, regardless of race, class. Just be kind and love thy neighbor.
Yes. Love thy neighbor as yourself. Real?
Yeah. Meditate on that.
Yeah, they don't teach you that in school. They don't.
They don't teach you that in school.
Meditate on that
They do
one.
not teach you that in school.
If they did, they failed.
Yeah. If they did, they need to be fucking shut down right now. Because they did not, so...
There you go.
That's street knowledge right there. That's street knowledge.
Knowledge right off the streets. The streets of Kentucky, you know? The streets.
The rough streets of Kentucky, boy.
Literally the rough, like the dirt roads of Kentucky. The rough streets.
I love it.
Yeah.
They are rough streets in the literal sense.
Yeah, like actually rough streets.
Their roads are bad.
Yeah. The people are fine, but the streets themselves are rough, let me tell you.
Yeah, it's
boys.
a very kind sort of culture, if you're white.
Whatever in the States.
I've never been to Kentucky, so I don't know the whole
No, here I
They
don't.
love me.
They really like everybody except until you give them a reason not to, and they hate you like a lot.
No,
So
no, dude, they are so just their shirts and stuff say "Don't mess with me, I'll mess you
Yeah,
up." It's
yeah.
like everything's so aggressive over there, just with their shirts and license plates. It's like I'm gonna kill you if you try and mess. Why?
Yeah.
It comes
Yeah.
across as so aggressive.
we don't have to say it. We don't have to
Man.
say it. That's why.
I guess you never
Well,
see that
once you
stuff in
just
the
wear
UK,
it.
do you?
Yeah, exactly.
No one's wearing a shirt saying "I'm gonna kill you if you mess with me."
I see that all the time.
Yeah, that's just
Don't
like
get me
Missouri, I
wrong.
see that every day.
I love a lot of what the States has to offer and stuff. However, the not just passive aggressive, the aggressive shirts.
But it's only aggressive to people that aren't from. Like
Oh.
to us, it's not aggressive.
Dude,
so
wait-
like to you, it's
Wait
aggressive.
until you get into the world of bumper stickers.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's seen them. Yeah.
Why do you have
King
threats
Alvin.
on your clothes and cars?
We saw one in Tennessee where it was like, if you're close enough, I can hit you with my 45, and I was like, wow, nice, that's cool.
I saw
Thanks,
one
buddy.
this morning that was,
I got one with me here. You wanna
drive
go?
My ass so hard, at least pull my hair.
Yeah,
Do you think
Oh
that
my
someone's gonna go up? It's like, oh yeah, I'll have him. Oh shit, wait, his t-shirt says not to. Oh shit, okay. Walk by. Oh yeah, you know what? Let me just rear end this fucker. Oh shit, what does his license plate say? I'm gonna kill
Eventually, you
for
just run
trying
into a
that.
guy with a shirt that says "I hate British people."
they exist.
Anyone,
They exist.
As if anyone in the world has ever thought they'd have someone. They looked at his shirts. Oh, maybe not today. Let's walk off.
I'm sure it's happened.
What do you think? What, someone reads his shirt. Oh crap! He says he's gonna kill me if I try and fuck with him. I best not.
Have you ever seen the whole overly descriptive T-shirt trend where it's
Yes.
like, "I am a Southern grandma born in February with three
Yeah,
granddaughters." Who,
Yes,
yeah.
I love them.
I love them, dude.
I love
so
those.
much.
It's a crazy part of you because I'm saying right now this is part of your culture. Right.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen in Europe.
Oh yeah.
You don't see
Trash
graphic
t-shirts.
tees saying like
That's
saying
right.
sentences.
That's right. It doesn't. It only
might-
happens here.
We,
Yep.
we might have like
That's right.
sentences-
What?
Exactly. Exactly.
Literally that.
He has one.
Oh, dude.
Sorry,
My heart only
beats
beats for my freaking awesome girlfriend. She's a bit
She's
crazy. She has anger issues, but is perfect mixture of sweetheart and warrior. I love her so much, and she is my life. Flirt with me, and they'll find your body. Yes, she bought me
I'll
this
never
shirt.
find your body.
Never. Sorry, I didn't say that.
He's got a thread shirt right there, bro. That's wild.
Yeah, he's got one.
But
Overly
why
descriptive
do
Not
you
worn
threats.
It's
laugh?
been a long time, but I still have it. I still have it.
I explained to Fox when he was here. He was talking about. I was like, listen, our society was built off of being rebellious. The entire thing. Like that's the entire reason we're here is from rebellion, right? And everything that's happened since then has been because of people rebelling against other people that are in charge. So
T-tax.
Yeah.
We're gonna drop it in the
1% T-tax, we're gonna burn the whole fucking fleet down. You know, it's like
You know, France also rebelled pretty famously. They don't walk around with.
they're French people. They're French people. They're French people.
France is kind
They're French people. They are not Americans. They are French people. They are different
You know,
breeds.
they did kill their king
Important
and queen.
distinction.
Yeah.
I don't.
Don't ever disgrace me like that again, boy.
I'll tell you right now. I believe that the Dutch once ate their king. Right? They
Well, yeah.
I think you're right.
They cannibalized their
you're
king,
right.
and they do not walk around with shirts saying
Baller.
Dutch version. Yeah.
Well, they're not American now. Not just. That's just only for us.
They
That's
should.
right.
They should like rep that.
I would do that.
insanity.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
They need to remind
That's a
people of
talking
that.
point.
Maybe have a little splash of blood on their football kits or something to make everyone
Literally,
Any
dude.
that makes it like a little bit.
red and orange. Yeah, I love many things about the States, but your weird, threatening tees are just not one of them. I don't understand
And
it.
you know, most of those people, when you meet them, are probably the nicest.
They
people
really
in the
are.
world.
They really are.
It's just a trend. It's just a weird trend that people do.
That lady that checked
word,
the lady that
words.
checked me and you out, Fox, at the gift shop down there was wearing a shirt that said, take away my rights and I'll take away your head with my 22 is what it said. And I was like, but she was a sweet lady. She was the sweetest, kindest little old lady I've ever seen in my life. Like she was just so nice.
How y'all doing?
Yeah. Is this all for you? Is this all for you? And she was like, yeah. You know, like laughing and stuff.
Those shirts, and they're like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's a little goofy, a little silly.
It's no deeper than that.
Yeah, there's no actual meaning to it. It's just like, oh, that's cool.
So,
I've met
you had
very nice
A
people.
girl and she was wearing a shirt like that. Let's say she's your type, Olivia Rodrigo. She's wearing a very threatening shirt. Would that make her more or less attractive? What would you say?
More.
Much more.
Obviously, more in a million cents.
Exponentially.
Yeah.
I'd say more as well. I'd say it's very funny. I'd say she has a sense of humor.
I would too.
I'd immediately be bricked up.
But I would cave. Yes, Squeegee, I would cave and get on my knees. If she told me to bark, I would bark. That's what I'm saying.
Is it like she comes up and she's like very obviously into me?
Yes. I mean, yeah. No, come on.
I just see her across the room and she's just got that shirt on. I'm like, well.
Let's say hypothetically she's not coming on to you, but you have a strong chance.
Then yes. Yeah, instantly. This table's rising 5 inches after that. I mean, like, dude, if you know, bro, listen, dude, listen. If she told me to bark, bro, I'm gonna bark like on my knees if she told me to. So
this table will rise 5.3 inches.
So we're all sitting at the dinner table. She comes up and we just hear.
Yeah, you know, it's like, whoa, shit. There goes my fucking mashed potatoes. You know, they just fly off the fucking table.
Put that napkin back on your lap.
Shit. Shit, dude. Sorry.
That's an awesome bit.
Anyways, Olivia, hit me up.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on episode 2 of the NBR podcast. Truly lovely having you here. And stay tuned for episode 3. You all take care and stay safe out there.
Peace out. Goodbye.